Where do I even start? Where do I even start? 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 7 threes, 11 for 20, and only 31.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, basketball fans, and even casual viewers, get ready. What happened on Saturday, June 14th wasn't just another WNBA game. It was pure karma. It was payback at its finest. A moment that felt like the basketball gods were watching and laughing as justice played out on the court.
Just like that, she's back. Caitlin Clark drops 35 after her 5-game layoff from injury. It was at a point where she scored 9 points in less than 45 seconds. I mean, crossing the half-point line, one dribble, and just pulling it from the logo. Like, these plays are just...
The Indiana Fever came to Gainbridge Fieldhouse with one goal to give the undefeated New York Liberty their first loss of the season. Leading the way, Caitlin Clark. Back from a 5-game injury break, she was ready to show everyone why she's the most exciting player in women's basketball.
Well, the Indiana Fever, I'm watching it. It just went final 102-88 over the league undefeated, now defeated, New York Liberty. New York Liberty, Stephanie White didn't.
The Liberty came in with a perfect 9-0 record, acting like they ran the league. But spoiler alert, they were about to get hit with a reality check so hard, it made a tax audit look relaxing. This wasn't just another game. It was personal. It was about payback and finally setting things right.
The Indiana Fever say, come on, New York. Come on. Somebody's got to give you this first L, and I guess it's going to be us. No Jonquel Jones, but the Indiana Fever handled business. 102-88. We finally hit triple digits thanks to CC22.
The last time these two teams faced off, things got heated. Natasha Cloud, the Liberty's defensive ace, stole the ball from Clark in the final seconds, and Clark thought she was fouled. But the refs never called it. That no call stuck with her, leaving a grudge that burned hotter than a Phoenix summer.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Caitlin Clark put on the show, dropped 25 in the first half. Then she was diamond here, diamond there. They scored over 100 points first time in the season, and they gave New York Liberty their first L. Take that L, go back to the Hudson River, and go back to New York with that L. You know what I'm saying? And I can't stand Sabrina. I'm going to call her Sabrina, I flop you. Because all she does is flop. I can't stand Sabrina Ionescu. She's a flopping machine. I'm glad she's taking that L today. Caitlin Clark, 32 points, 7 for 14 from 3, that's 50%, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. She almost had a double-double, almost close to it.
Clark had missed 5 games with a quad injury, watching from the sidelines as her team struggled, and WNBA ratings crashed by 55%. Without her, it was like trying to run a blockbuster movie without the star. Technically doable, but nobody cared. Then came Saturday. Clark didn't just come back, she lit it up like a firework factory hit by lightning. She had a mission, and Natasha Cloud's name was written all over it in bold, permanent ink.
Caitlin Clark, 9 points in 20 or 38 seconds. Oh my goodness. Came back to back logo threes. For a minute, man, I told the chat, call the cops on Caitlin Clark for logo abuse. Oh my goodness, man, she was killing.
From the opening tip, the energy in the arena was electric. The Liberty came out strong, jumping to a 17-6 lead and looking every bit like the defending champs. They moved the ball well, hit their shots, and played like a team that forgot how to lose. For a moment, it felt like Clark's return might be just a side note. But with just over 3 minutes left in the first quarter, something changed. Clark hit a 3-point play, and you could see the fire light up in her eyes.
The Indiana Fever. That is Fever basketball at its finest. Fever ball at its finest. As a team, by the way, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. The least turnovers the Fever have had in a game as a team.
What happened next was pure basketball magic. In just 38 seconds, Clark drained 3 deep threes from 33, 27, and 31 feet, each one dropping clean through the net. The crowd exploded like a volcano, and just like that, the game was tied at 24. This wasn't just basketball anymore. It was Clark making a statement. She was back. The injury didn't slow her down, and she had a point to prove. She was pulling up from near GPS range, and every shot dropped like fall leaves in October.
3 threes in 38 seconds in the first half. Caitlin Clark hit 3 logo bombs, by the way. 3 logo bombs in 38 seconds. This was the Caitlin Clark we all said, oh, she's different. She's sent from outer space. The Caitlin Clark that we saw today was the Caitlin Clark that we were accustomed.
By halftime, Clark had already racked up 25 points, including 6 threes, the most she's ever scored in one half as a pro. The Fever led 53-50, and you could see the worry creeping into the Liberty's eyes. This wasn't how their perfect season was supposed to go. In the third quarter, the Liberty came out swinging with a 9-0 run, trying to take back control. But Clark and the Fever answered with a 19-0 run of their own, a total knockout. The Liberty suddenly couldn't buy a basket, and every time they tried to rally, Clark shut them down. She kept pulling out deep threes, like a magician pulling rabbits from a never-ending hat.
For one of the best and most elite performances we have ever seen from Caitlin Clark. Now, I got to remind everybody about this. Caitlin Clark is coming off an injury, bro. What we seen today was greatness. This was similar to the Michael Jordan flu game. I mean, it's up there type deal, bro. Caitlin Clark just handed the New York Liberty the ass whooping of a lifetime. And what's crazy about all of this is that the referees couldn't even save them. See, last time the referees was able to save New York and they walked away with the victory. The game was so far out of reach, the referees had to.
And through it all, Natasha Cloud was right there, trying to guard the unguardable. It was like using an umbrella in a hurricane. The irony was clear. The same player who had shut Clark down last time was now forced to watch as Clark tore apart her team's perfect record. When the buzzer sounded, the Fever had won 99-88. Clark finished with 32 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, and 7 threes, tying her career high. But the numbers only told part of the story. This was about making a statement, settling a score, and sending a message. The Fever hit a franchise record 17 threes, shot nearly 49% from deep, and scored over 100 points for the first time this season, all with Clark leading like a general on a mission.
I'm glad that New York got that L. They should have got the L the other game. Now they just got what they deserve. Okay, but Caitlin Clark went off. I'm happy. That is what people pay to see. Do you see the difference when Caitlin Clark is on the floor? She makes the whole offense way better. The offense is better. They're clicking. They're getting to their spot.
For the Liberty, this wasn't just a loss. It was a wake-up call, served with a slice of humble pie. Sabrina Ionescu dropped 34 points, and Brianna Stewart added 24, but it wasn't enough to stop the storm named Caitlin Clark. The Liberty came in as the league's last unbeaten team and left with their perfect record shattered and their confidence shaken. And then there's the elephant in the room, or more accurately, the point guard on the court, Natasha Cloud. Just weeks ago, she was confident in her defense. But on this night, she was on the wrong side of one of the most dominant performances the WNBA has seen in a while. The basketball gods clearly have a sense of humor, and they chose this night to write Caitlin Clark's redemption story.
Natasha Cloud's Linsanity run is over. As I said, her player of the week, the player of the week curse, we saw it happen to Kelsey Mitchell as well till the end of that game where she was so clutch. But her Linsanity runs over. I got a DM from somebody going, Natasha Cloud's great. What are you talking about her Linsanity run? I'm like, was there a Linsanity run? I was like, she can play defense. She's not a great offensive player. Forget the referees. The referees. This was apparently a foul. This was apparently a foul on Lexi Hull. And there were so many of them throughout the game. Brianna Stewart shot 14 free throws. Stewie shot 14. Half of them.
The beauty of sports is how they set the stage for moments like this. Clark came back from injury with something to prove, going head-to-head with the same player who denied her a game winner in their last meeting. And she didn't just prove her point, she dominated, leading her team to a huge win over the best team in the league. But the impact of this game went way beyond the scoreboard. Clark's return lit a fire under the WNBA. Social media blew up with highlights. Ticket prices for future Fever games jumped by over 360%. Suddenly, everyone was talking about women's basketball again. The league, which had seen ratings drop while Clark was out, got a powerful reminder of why the WNBA commissioner herself called Caitlin Clark the most popular athlete in America.